Random crits have been a divisive topic in TF2 for a long time. Many say that they ruin the casual TF2 experience, while others defend their inclusion in the game. So my question is this: exactly why are random crits in TF2? Critical hits are a factor in a lot of video games. In some, like Pokemon, their damage is fixed. They do twice the damage of a regular hit. Other games, like ARPGs such as Diablo and Path of Exile, critical damage is variable and upgradable with new items. In TF2, crits are much like the former. Their damage is fixed at 3 times the default damage. They also have no damage fall off, meaning they do max damage regardless of your distance from an enemy. Finally, they look and sound different. The crit sound is universal across all classes, while bullets and projectiles change colour to that of their team. There are also mini crits, slightly weaker versions that do 1.5 times the damage of a normal attack. In my opinion, there are 3 types of critical hits in TF2. Natural, earned, and random. Natural, or skill-based crits, are given when a player does a specific action in-game that is essentially more difficult to do. The most obvious of these would be getting a backstab as spy, which guarantees an instant kill, or getting a headshot as sniper, which does a base 150 damage, 3 times more than the regular 50 damage. Other examples would be getting headshots with the ambassador, or getting air shots with the direct hit. These actions require aim, or game sense, to allow the player to be able to do more damage, hence to me referring to them as skill-based. Earned crits are crits that aren't readily available but require an action to enable them. The Kritzkrieg was one of the first to allow this, which gives your healing target critical hits for the duration of an ubercharge. Another common one would be the Phlogistinator, which requires you to fill up a meter with damage before being able to activate crits for yourself by taunting. There are many weapons like this, such as the Diamondback, Buff Banner and KGB, which allow you to store these crits after earning them and use them when you feel the situation calls for it. The third and final type are, of course, random crits. These happen at any time, unknowing to the user or their opponent. While natural crits aren't readily visible, you know they can happen if you're against a player using one of those weapons. You're aware that a sniper scoping at you can hit a headshot if he is good enough. Earned crits can be seen. A Kritzkrieg or Flog has a visible crackle when ready to charge, and the weapon glows when the crits are activated. Random crits are, by definition, spontaneous and without visible warning. For many, random crits are unjustified. Let's put these 3 types of crits into a scenario. Imagine 3 people going for a promotion. One person has scored perfectly on their exams, achieving the highest marks. The second has been with the company for many years, consistently putting in good performances. The third has been picked at random through a lottery system. Would it be fair for that last person to get the promotion over the others? This is what happens regularly in TF2. Playing the game, building an Uber, or trying to get a buff banner in order to benefit your team, only for that to be taken away due to a random crit from the enemy that you had no way of knowing was coming your way. To have a fight decided by RNG seems, to put it simply, unfair. So let's get to the point. Why are random crits in the game? Some argue that random crits are needed to break stalemates in pub games. This is a decent point. In 12v12 servers with no class limits, there can be a lot of time where an attacking team throws themselves repeatedly into a wall of sentries and heavies. Random crits allow people to be removed from the game more easily, supposedly opening the doors for a team to push. My counter to that would be, however, Dust Bowl. How many times have any of us been attempting to push a point on Dust Bowl in a stalemate situation, building an ubercharge, only to have a crit sticky or rocket land in our faces, from the defending team? If stalemates are the problem, why the random element? Why afford the same strengths to the team with the huge defense? Surely it's the attacking team who requires a boost. The random element of the crits means there is no way of knowing who or what team they will benefit, and whether they will break or help continue the stalemate. Another point regularly made is that it allows newer players a better chance against seasoned veterans. In a regular 1v1 situation, your money is going to be on the 5,000 hour soldier with a Burning Flames TC and an Aussie rocket launcher, rather than the Gibbous scout who just installed the game last week. But random crits gives the newbie a better chance in that fight, so it's not so uneven, right? Well, kinda. Earlier on I talked about how some ARPGs like Diablo and PoE allow you to boost your crit chance. That is possible in TF2. The base chance of a crit is 2%, and that increased based on the damage you've done in the past 20 seconds, up to a maximum of 12% after doing 800 damage. Logic would dictate that better players are more likely to have done a lot more damage, so therefore their chance of a random crit is higher. Not really offering the newbies much of a chance, is it? Melee crit chance is higher, starting at a base of 15% and scaling up to 45%. How many times have you been random critted by a sniper using his melee? Well, he's probably just hit a couple of charged headshots, giving him a nearly 50-50 chance of a random crit on you. Unlucky. Something that has been raised is the balancing of some weapons around the lack of random crits, and consequently the achievements in the game that require them to exist. However, a vast majority of these come under the earned crits title I gave them earlier, and most of these are allowed in the comp scene, so do not seem so overpowered in their current state. Outside of those, there are 13 items which do not. 7 of them are swords, which earn critical hits when paired with a shield, and 2 are the jumper weapons which do no damage. That leaves 4 weapons that may need to be tweaked. Not too much of an ask, is it? Of course, achievements like Crockett's are such BS would need to be changed to reflect the lack of random crits, but this surely isn't a solid defense to keep them in the game. The final argument I hear so often is random crits keep the game interesting and fun, or TF2 is a casual game, random crits are part of the wackiness. At this point it comes down to personal preference. Does the elation you get from killing someone with a random crit outweigh the frustration from getting killed by one? Only you can decide. At the end of the day, it is up to Valve to see what will happen in the future. The ability to turn off random crits is there, as the competitive scene and many community servers utilize that option. Maybe an option to choose to search for casual servers with random crits disabled, or an option to vote in game as to whether you want them activated or not. This would give the opportunity for those to choose to play with or without them. What do you guys think? Are random crits ruining the casual scene? Should they be removed? Is there a good way to satisfy both groups? Let me know in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed the video, take care, and I'll see you next time.